grasp if the referee doesn't blow the whistle. Because that wasn't even called, so the thing we're looking for right here is the catch. I don't know. That's a tough one. We see more and more of that, but that looked like a catch at the beginning of a catch anyway.
And then his body blocked out our angle.
I believe that they have to look at that one. I mean, I don't think they can say that that was just an incomplete pass. There's a ball out there. His shoulder blocks that angle out. Yeah, we see more and more of these things, Pat.
Yep.
You know, where they ball
after further review,
and it hits the hands and everything simultaneously.
Incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
It's been ruled incomplete. And it's 4th down, Cofer.
The 49ers have had some problem. Remember, Bubba Paris was offside on a field goal, and Cofer missed his last one.
This one from 22 yards out. And this one's good. And we have a tie. Packers 10, 49ers 10. 2:40 left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Times roll with the clean, fresh taste of Bud Light. It won't fill you up, never lets you down.
From the Far East to Europe. Across the Caribbean and throughout North America. Only one airline covers so much of the world with so much warmth. There are nearly 4 million miles of roads in this beautiful country. But only half of them are paved. The Toyota 4Runner. Where you go is your concern. Getting you back is ours.
I love what you do for me, Toyota.
In our NFL doubleheader next Sunday, these same Packers venture out to the Coliseum in Los Angeles to play Art Shell's Raiders, undefeated there since he took over as head coach, and now with the added dimension of Bo Jackson in the backfield. The Raiders are 6-1, tied for the best record in the AFC and atop the standings in the AFC West. Back here at Lambeau Field, Cofer kicks off to Charles Wilson. Wilson out of bounds at about the 23 by Darryl Pollard.
I can see why Lindy and Fonnie wants to get the ball to this Wilson guy. I mean, he looks like every time he catches it, he expects to go all the way. He gets upset when he doesn't go, but if I had a guy like that, I think I'd want to get him in there too.
He'll rest for a while as Sterling Sharpe is back in the action now for Green Bay. 10-10 tie. Near the end of the 3rd quarter, 2:29 left to play.
And the big thing with this Green Bay offense today is they haven't had any turnovers.
That's the major thing that they wanted to avoid. That's the first thing everyone said that we talked to. Off to Haddix. Nothing there. Would be a fumble. For an update, let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York. Well, let's don't. Let's see who's got the football here first. Fumble by Haddix, and the 49ers come up with it.
Yeah, you hate to say that, but I was just saying the one thing they haven't had is a turnover, and on the very next play, they get their first fumble. but it all started with Michael Carter. Michael Carter got the penetration. You don't know when the whistle blew. It looked like both knees were down before it came out. But if the whistle didn't blow, then the ball is still alive.
This one, I'm sure, is going to be reviewed as well.
Well, what they're going to say is when the whistle blew. But watch the job that Michael Carter does. He gets the penetration, and it's going to happen right there. He makes the play. Now, when the knees go down, the whistle should blow. So when the knees went down, he hadn't fumbled yet. So he's down when his knees go down. He fumbled later. But what they're going to say is they could say that they blew the whistle, that the whistle hadn't blown when his knees went down.
'49er offensive unit already on the field, so is the Packer defense. But they're still looking.
Yeah, if you look right there in the far right is where it happens. But again, the thing is, it wasn't a fumble, really, because his knees were down. So then it's going to have to go to when the whistle blew. They're going to reverse this.
Packer offense back on the field. And here comes the 49er defense.
There's been a reversal. Runners ruled down by contact. Brings up second down.
Well, he was down by contact.
Yes, he was.
But the other thing I still go back to, that's not automatic. You see, that has to be down by contact with the whistle blowing. Usually the officials down on the field say, hey, it doesn't make any difference. I didn't blow the whistle until after the ball was out.
It brings up 2nd and 10. Packers at their own 25. Majkowski hit by Dennis Brown.
There's big Dennis Brown. He was a #1 draft choice, a top draft choice, #1 or 2 for the 49ers out of the University of Washington. They felt that they needed a defensive lineman, so they got a big one, and there is a big guy that can move. I mean, when he grows up, he's gonna fill up. He's gonna be a two-gapper. He's gonna line up in a guy and end up covering two gaps.
It's the 3rd sack of the day by the 49ers on Majkowski, who now operates out of the spread formation. 3rd and 19. Blitz coming. Majkowski up into the pocket, incomplete. Now for that update. Let's send you to Greg Gumbel back in our New York studio.
All right, Pat, at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Bubby Brister has thrown his 2nd touchdown pass of the day. Mike Mularkey gets a nice block at the goal line from Lewis Lips. It's 14-9 Steelers, 4th quarter. Pat and John.
1:16 remains in the 3rd quarter. Don Bracken back to punt for the Packers, standing right on his own goal line. John Taylor back deep for the 49ers. Not much. Taylor signals fair catch. Can't even get up to it. Packers down it at the 42-yard line.
Boy, that was an ugly punt. That looked like the last shot out of a Roman candle. He didn't even kick that. He didn't get any oomph in it or anything.
Didn't even sound right. 27 yards. Scoring summary for the Packers. Jacke a 30-yard field goal. Then a pass from Majkowski to Sharpe from 20 yards away. At that point, they led 10-0. 49ers. That's how they got even. Montana to Taylor and Cofer field goal. 1st and 10 San Francisco. Montana back to throw on 1st down. Incomplete, intended for Taylor.
They had Jerry Rice streaking down through the end zone. He is the one that ran everyone off, and that's why there was so much room underneath for John Taylor, because Jerry Rice came streaking down the field, and he took about 4 Packer defenders with him, and then John Taylor came underneath.
Makes it 2nd and 10. Taylor and Rice both split to the left. Rathman and Craig behind Montana. Looks like another audible. To Taylor. Knocked out of bounds by Jerry Holmes.
We're watching the master here today. We just look at the way that he spreads it around. He's thrown 7 to his running backs for 84 yards, 8 to his wide receivers. That's 164 yards, and 2 to his tight ends for 34 yards. So Montana not only does it well, but he keeps them all happy.
And that's very important. And he's back to throw it again. Out to his running back, Tom Rathman. Rathman down to about the 17-yard line, a gain of 11.
Rathman's face mask looks good. You know, he has to change a face mask. He breaks a face mask like every week. And you can see those bars there. Now, in this game, he hasn't been used much. He hasn't been a lot of blocking because they haven't running. He's just been used as a pass receiver. So his face mask and helmet looks more like a pass receiver's today than old Tom Rathman, the blood and gut gritter.
I like it. Blood and gut gritter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The Packers 10, the 49ers 10. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Idaho's abortion law is fine, just the way it is. Elect us and we'll leave it alone.
Last session in the Senate was frustrating. Time and money were wasted fighting over House Bill 625.
The vast majority of Idahoans believe abortion is a private matter, none of the government's business.
Vote for us, the People's Choice for the Idaho Senate, and we'll devote ourselves to health care, environment, education, your issues.
Idaho has quite a few ghost towns that share the same story. The industries died, jobs became scarce, and families split up when the children moved away. That's why you need Terry Hahn in the Idaho State Senate. Hahn opposes new wilderness in Idaho because he's ready to stand up and fight to keep the wood products industry alive. Hahn cares about people. Job security means family security, and Idaho doesn't need any more ghost towns. Vote Terry Hahn, District 9, Idaho State Senate.
Is good service really important?
Where's the safety on this thing?
Well, where's your thing? At Franklin Building Supply, good service has become a habit.
Can I help you? Yeah, how does this work? A couple important features, one being the safety.
So you can deal with the other guys, or you can deal with Franklin Building Supply, where service is a habit.
Jim Brinson, Eyewitness News, the news leader.
Lambeau Field, the Packers and the 49ers. San Francisco now has 13 first downs to the Packers 11. 307 yards throwing for the 49ers to 124. 184 make that for Green Bay. Here's Montana, flushed out of the pocket, hit from behind, still gets rid of it to Brent Jones. He is amazing.
Yeah, the thing is that Joe Montana sees so many things. Just watch him. Let's just watch it. You know, people say, what makes Montana Montana? And I think this is what it is. That he goes back there and calmly sees everything. You look at him, he's looking, nothing open, move, keep looking. Look at that, head's on a swivel, the eyes are always moving.
First and goal from the 6, and Rathman down to about the 3. Stopped by Brian Noble. Look at that helmet. You know, Lindy and Fandy was saying yesterday what makes Montana so great is he has fly eyes.
And
he can see everywhere.
I think we just saw it on that last play. I mean, he was seeing left and right and all over, and then moving and still seeing. Although I do think he hurt himself somehow in that last play. After that last play, which was a running play, he came up limping. I bet you someone stepped on his toe.
Second and goal at the 3. Rathman again. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by Mark Murphy. A loss of 3.
There's a guy who's a solid player, Mark Murphy. He's a strong safety, very solid. You're not going to fool him. Noble plugs the inside. Steven has the outside. Watch 37. His job is to force the run, force and contain. And he was up there to force and contain and cause the loss.
Third and goal from the 6.
This is definitely a passing down. This is when you get down in 3rd and 6. This is a big, this is long yardage.
Craig and Rathman are the backs. Rathman in motion. Fake to Craig. Touchdown to Brent Jones. Again, he looked left, looked right, and then looked back in the middle and found the tight end.
And just knows where all his guys are. I mean, he has such great presence. I mean, he's moving there, and not only is he looking, but he knows where they all are. This is a bootleg. Fake to back, going to the left. He's looking back. He's trying to throw back. Then he looks middle, and he ends up throwing right. A perfect strike to Brent Jones. I mean, that's the greatness of Joe Montana. I mean, there's a lot of guys that could throw better or stronger or whatever, but being able to feel, see, and know where your guys are, no one's better.
The extra point by Cofer is good, and the 49ers have taken the lead by 17-10 over Green Bay.
When the only thing better than making it to the top is making it to the bottom.
It's the right feeling now.
Because you know looking good isn't just for summer.
It's the right feeling now.
Because you know winter's the time to turn up the heat. So call for the silver bullet, the one that won't slow you down.
It's the right feeling now.
This game summary is sponsored by Levi's 505, 506, and 540 G's.
Montana 21 out of 34, 324 yards, 2 touchdowns. Regular day for him.
Let's watch the last touchdown. We see Montana's going to come out on a bootleg. Now, when he goes in motion, he's trying to hit him back here as he bootlegs, and then he finally finds Brent Jones in here. But watch how he sees. There goes the motion man. Now, the guy he fakes to, the back he fakes to right here, he's trying to throw back out here to him. He couldn't do it, and he finds Jones in the end zone. But that was like, Brent Jones was like the third receiver on that play.
So with 12:45 left to play, the unbeaten 49ers have the lead at 17-10. Cofer's kick goes to Wilson. Beg your pardon, it's Workman now. Workman out of bounds at about the 29.
It is a surprise that Cincinnati, you never know, if they're going to have a big game one way or the other. An old rivalry game, that Chiefs and the Raiders, I remember when
I bet.
We used to play those against Hank Stram and those Chief games. Whew. The Eagles aren't out of the hunt. When you look at this wild card situation, Buddy Ryan kept saying, well, we're going to be in the playoffs, and everyone said, oh, yeah, that's just old buddy talking. But I think somewhere you have to listen to that.
Here's Majkowski. Going deep and almost intercepted. He was hit just as he let it go. Knocked down by Don Griffin.
Oh, he was sandwiched there, Pat. He was whipsawed. He got hit from the front to back and underneath. That is something just as he threw that ball. Watch this one, and you know that Charles Haley's going to be involved in it because he's been back there all day. They're double teaming him. They're going everywhere. But watch what happens to Majkowski at the end of the play. He's going to get hit from the top and the bottom and both sides. One by Haley and the other by Michael Carter.
And you know Majkowski's going to give in that situation.
And when Carter hits you, that cleans the sinuses out.
Here he is back to throw again and going deep. Got a man. Sterling Sharpe. Griffin was the defender, but Majkowski got it to Sharpe.
Another great catch by Sterling Sharpe. I mean, we remember the first one that he caught and he scored the touchdown on where he laid out. Watch him here, right by Griffin, run by everyone. Watch him locate the ball over his head and again lay out and catch that ball. Hey, this is one of the exciting players in this league. You know, when he was in college at South Carolina, Bobby Beathard telling me the best player in the nation is Sterling Sharpe. I said, Bobby, I don't know the guy. I don't know what they can be looking at here, but I guess they are. I mean, he catches this. I don't know. I mean, they could be looking if it came out or something like that, but that's a catch. A man makes a play like that, you got to give him a catch. You don't even look at that.
That was good for 37 yards.
And Sterling Sharpe telling Majkowski, did you see him? He got that cap tip back there, and he just gave him the nod. Yeah, it's okay. We got that one. I mean, you should. You run by everyone. You locate the ball like a center fielder. You make a catch like that. I wouldn't even look at that. That doesn't go on instant replay. That goes on a highlight film. It's going to take a lot of players back here. You know, we talked about some defensive players. I think if I could take a couple of receivers, I may take the two that are playing in this game.
You wouldn't make any mistake.
Sterling Sharpe and Jerry Rice. And if they say that play doesn't stay, then they're gonna have some. They got to check some cards here or something.
Good for 37 yards. 11:44 remaining in the game.
After further review, play stands as called on the field. Completion, first down.
Yep, put that one in the highlight reel where it belongs. But that was just that, you know, that's a heck of a throw by Majkowski, too, because he just got, remember the play before that, he got whipsawed, got knocked off his axis.
Sharpe is wide left this time, Kemp wide right. Handoff is to Haddix, close to the 30-yard line of San Francisco. 4-yard gain, stopped by Keith DeLong.
You know, it's funny how this crowd has quieted down. They were making a lot of noise, and then the 49ers came back, and they went quiet. Now they can see it's 17-10, and their Packers are making another drive. They want to kind of let loose. They want to make some noise, but it's kind of controlled fury. Control something. Whatever they got inside, it's under control now.
Darrell Thompson is the running back now. Sharpe with the man in motion, and he's going to run a reverse. And out of bounds after about a 3-yard pickup, knocked out by Romanowski.
Now Lindy Infante has to come up with a play here. You know, it's interesting. George Seifert said that Lindy Infante calls great plays, calls a great game. Of course, Lindy Infante beat him last year, but they remember all the way back, George Seifert was the defensive coordinator at Stanford when Lindy Infante was the offensive coordinator at Tulane, and Tulane beat Stanford. And Seifert said he remembered him calling plays against him back then.
Brewery comes in motion. Majkowski back to throw it. A flag on the play. Flags all over the place.
Whistles all over the place. Left guard
57
move.
prior to the snap. False start. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
That's old Rich Moran from Pleasanton, California out there. He's been a 49er fan. He grew up right there in the Bay Area where the 49ers are from. His dad, Jim Moran, used to play for the New York Giants. He's here today with his family. And old Rich, he played in the same high school my sons did.
You watched him grow up, huh?
Yeah, I did. I watched him grow up. I told him to be a center. I told him to start snapping, be a center. You'll have a job all your life, and they made a guard out of him.
Well, at least he's got a center's number, 57. Here's Majkowski. Weathers out of bounds at about the 12, wide open. Knocked out finally by Eric Wright. A pickup of 20.
Good pass protection. Good pass protection. Watch the guy. Watch Moran there. He's on Roberts. He holds him. He gives that block right there that Moran made. We were just talking about Moran. That was a block that Majkowski could step up right where Moran was and hit Clarence Weathers. Sometimes guards not only give you pass protection to keep the guy out, but they also give you lanes to throw in.
1st and 10, Green Bay. At the 49er 12. San Francisco leading by a touchdown. Handoff is to Woodside, and he is hit back at the 15. Matt Millen led the defense.
You're not going to get Matt Millen on a cutback. He knows that. Here's Matt Millen right here. Now, when the ball starts this way, he is going to play that from inside out and not overrun that thing. But watch him as the ball starts there, how he plays it and always stays inside it. See right there? He stays inside, so when you start to cut back, he's going to be there. If you cut back that slow, they're all going to be there.
2nd and 13. Majkowski. Intended for Woodside, incomplete.
And Don Griffin was trying to take that one 90 yards. He was reading that one. If he picks that one off, that would have been an interesting sprint up the sideline.
It would have been all over.
That's one that you try not to throw that thing across the field like that. There are very few quarterbacks that can throw a short pass all the way across the field. That makes it worthwhile.
3rd and 12 now.
Charge
back at the
team
13.
timeout.
Timeout, Green Bay. Majkowski 16 out of 25. 8:35 left. 49ers by 7.
Prelude SI with amazing 4-wheel steering from Honda. The way it moves will surprise you.
After millions and millions of hours in the air, after 17 years of staying up all night, every night, so that your packages can be delivered overnight to any address in America, Federal Express has become the first service company ever to win the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. It's the highest honor in American business. And just how did we do this? By being absolutely, positively the best in the business.
You've heard it said before. It's not just what you say. It's how you say it. LaserJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. Now when you buy an HP LaserJet 2P, you'll get a free paper cassette valued at $195. Visit your authorized Hewlett-Packard dealer today.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles. Test drive a Honda today. Hewlett-Packard LaserJet printers, they'll get you noticed. And by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now.
Back in Green Bay, Wisconsin, the Packers and the 49ers. Packers trailing by a touchdown, 17-10. Have it 3rd and 13 at the 49er 14. Majkowski from the spread. Under the heat, and down he goes by Romanowski.
I think this is one here that, you know, that they have to kick the field goal. They can't go for it here. And if we just look and see what Majkowski sees, you see he's looking up. Now he thinks he sees a hole right there that he can run in this lane. There is no lane here. You look, this is what he's looking at down there. He has nothing down there. Good coverage, and he had to run that one. There was just nothing there at all. No run and no place to pass it.
From 37 yards out by Jacke. And it's good. Here at Lambeau Field, that makes it the 49ers 17, Green Bay 13. 8-17, plenty of time left. 37 yards for Jacke. And some of the other scores around the league. New Orleans, strange team playing a strange team. With the Saints lead 21-7. Kansas City 9-7 over the Raiders. About what you'd expect. Miami 23, Phoenix 3. A rejuvenated defense for the Dolphins. Washington moves a little bit closer. Jets over Dallas 17-9 now. Philadelphia, as John Madden said a moment ago, a team not to forget about. 34-13 over New England.
As long as they have Randall Cunningham on offense and Reggie White on defense, they can make things happen on both sides of the ball.
Chris Jacke to kick it off. Dexter Carter back deep for the 49ers. 17-13. San Francisco lead. Good kick. Right at the goal line. Carter up to the 30. Johnny Holland tripped him up.
Yeah, we were talking to Lindy and Fonnie yesterday about Joe Montana, and these are the things he said about him. The experience, the presence of mind that we've seen all day, the poise. You just look at the way he moves, mobile. We've seen him run right, left, great vision. We've seen him come to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th receiver, and the pressure part, no matter how much pressure, he always knows where it's coming from and how to get away from it.
He said he may not have that strong an arm, but he doesn't need it with all those other things. That's Carter. Brian Noble.
There you talk about the things about Joe Montana. He's won 4 Super Bowls. He's been MVPs. He's going for a 3-peat. But here's another notch with another yard passing. He is going to pass John Hadle, and he'll become the 5th all-time quarterback in passing yards. That other group is a pretty good group.
Yeah, I'll say. 2nd and 5. 7.5 minutes remain. Montana for Rathman dropped. Sean Patterson hurried Montana.
You watch, he's the athlete of the group, Sean Patterson. If they have a pass rushing defensive lineman, it's 96. And you saw him beat number 77, Bubba Paris. He hit into Bubba, then he took the inside. But he's the guy with the speed and the quickness and the agility and those types of things. And if he can stay healthy, he's what the Packers need.
3rd down, they need to get just past the 40. Montana gets it to Rice, and he's gone. can turn something into nothing so quickly, or nothing into something so quickly.
That was the thing that the Packers were worried about, taking that short pass and making it into a big one. We talked about Joe Montana just needed one more yard to pass John Hadle. Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well take a big bunch with you.
He passed a lot of them.
But did you see Jerry Rice explode after he caught that ball? I mean, he looked like he was shot out of a cannon.
Rice, 6 catches for 187 yards. And that touchdown. Cofer for the extra point. Which is good. So with 7:16 left to play, 49ers lead 24-13.
AT&T, the right choice. During the 80s, the Denver Broncos won over 75% of their home games at Mile High Stadium. But what team had the best winning percentage on the road? The Chicago Bears? The Miami Dolphins? Or the San Francisco 49ers? Which would you choose?
Well, they call and they want me to drop AT&T. Yellow. And why in the world would I want to do that? Yeah. So I just say, can't you put it in writing? And it's kind of like saying, gee, I'd like to go out tonight, but I got to stay home and wash the dog. The AT&T people are always there for me. I mean, the price is right, and it's a great deal. Well, I mean, come on. Life is too short to worry about this stuff, right? And with AT&T, I don't have to.
No matter what they say, it doesn't add up to AT&T.
You have a nice day, too. I'm just not impressed. And they're not AT&T.
The 49ers won an incredible 73% of their road games during the 80s. If you said the 49ers, you made the right choice.
The Accord from Honda. Once again, it's what the competition is shooting for. Nice shot.
Watch this.
Jerry Rice not only knows what's in front of him, the goal line, but he keeps checking over his shoulder. You know, at the end, Pat, these guys are always so cool and they look so cool, but they're not when they're running for touchdown.
Now's the time to laugh.
Well, I'll tell you, he knew where everyone was, not only in front of him and along his side, but behind him.
Vince Workman returning the kick for the Packers. Tonight on CBS, Saddam Hussein's best-kept secret is a uranium mine hidden away inside a mountain. But you know, 60 Minutes, they can't keep a secret. They'll show it to you tonight, followed by Murder, She Wrote. And then the CBS Sunday movie, 83 Hours Till Dawn. That's tonight here on CBS.
Get a good night's sleep.
First and 10, Packers their own 28. At one point, they led 10-0. Now they trail 24-13. Majkowski back to throw. Incomplete. In the direction of Sterling Sharpe.
Yeah, it's funny. The Packers have really played as well today, I think, as they're capable of. And that's what happens when you play against a team like the 49ers. And they're not playing their best. They're not there yet, but they have the ingredients to get there. And I think the Packers have the ingredients to just keep plugging along and getting some wins here, upsetting some people, and maybe being there at the end.
Hand off to Fontenot. He got about 5 yards before he stopped by Romanowski and Wright.
The Packers now are going to a hurry-up offense, down 24-13. Of course, they have to think in terms of 2 scores with 6 minutes and 45 seconds to go.
Third down. Majkowski finally does get rid of it. Complete to Perry Kemp and a first down. A gain of 13, knocked out of bounds by Eric Davis. Again, no huddle.
I think it was Pierce Holt just broke right through there and took a swipe at Majkowski and missed him.
Majkowski deep to Curry inside the 30. Stopped by Lott. 25-yard gain.
See, they're putting pressure on him. They're getting good pass protection now and letting him stand up and find Query down there. Again, going with no huddle.
Pass is caught by Weathers. Another Packer first down. 12-yard gain, stopped by Waymer.
Another time, Dennis Brown hit Majkowski just as he threw it. The 49ers are getting awfully close on this pass rush, but Majkowski is just getting the ball out of there.
Out of the end zone in the direction of Weathers, but he just got rid of it.
Well, Weathers was double covered down there, and he had nothing to do, and he was getting the pressure, and he couldn't hold it any longer. He didn't want to try and throw it to Weathers, again, because of the double coverage.
Clock stopped with 5:16 left to play. San Francisco leading 24-13.
There's a couple guys that have played a heck of a game today. Michael Carter, the nose tackle, one of the best in the game, and Charles Haley, who only knows one way to go, and that's in hot pursuit of any guy called the quarterback.
Majkowski flushed out of the pocket to Sharpe. Green Bay touchdown.
What a competitor Don Majkowski is. What a competitor Sterling Sharpe is. Talk about a guy who can catch the ball, get open, and he's smart. See him, he put both hands around that ball. There was no way after he did this, and then he did this, that he was going to let that ball come flying out of there.
Extra point by Jacke is good. Still 5 minutes, 10 seconds remain. San Francisco leads by 4 now.
Yeah, the 49ers are in a fight here in Green Bay. The Packers are lining up there for their kickoff. I don't think that this is an onside kick situation.
Still,
I think with 5 minutes to go, you don't onside kick.
I think you're right. No onside kick yet. Sharpe has 4 catches, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. They went 72 yards in 7 plays.
But how would you like to have that, to be able to have Sharpe and Rice on the same team? You probably don't need it, but we have seen, you know, some of the best players in the league here, and 2 of them are those wide receivers today, in Sterling Sharpe and Jerry Rice.
Dexter Carter back deep for the 49ers. Jacke's kickoff.
You know, sometimes that brings out, and sometimes Rice scores a touchdown on one end, and that pumps up the Sterling Sharpe to get one on the other end.
Short kick. Tillman will handle it. Hit down at about the 30 by the Packers, led by Jerry Woods. 14-yard return.
You know, we've seen good, solid football played here today. You know, high intensity, good tackling, no turnovers. Again, this is about as well. The Packers can't play any better than they played today. We thought it would be a passing game. It is. The 49ers have thrown for 388 yards. The Packers for 244. running has not been a big part of it. But boy, would the 49ers love to be able to run some now.
And what was a quiet crowd has come to life. Montana gives to Ratman. Flag on the play. Tim Harris made the stop.
Did you see that fan in the side? He was yelling, holding, holding. He was giving the holding signal again on a running play. The guy in the fan knew. The fan in the stands knew already. How can he see? How does he know?
Number 79 offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Ball against Harris Barton, the right guard.
Yeah, he's a right guard right there. Let's see if we can see it. Again, that left arm goes up right there. And maybe the right arm is in there too. That was a hole Rathman went through, but you have to be able to do that, I think, to block.
First and 20. Montana back to throw it to Taylor. Good tackle made by Jerry Holmes.
Oh, and I'll tell you, Chuck Cecil better watch out. They're going after him. He was awfully close to coming in there in a late hit. He's a very aggressive safety. And he was awfully close. And I'll tell you, Taylor sees him coming. Watch 82, John Taylor here. He knows that he's going to get it. He's down, and he gets speared when he's down. I think the Packers and Chuck Cecil dodged the bullet there.
It'll bring up a 2nd and 15 situation. Montana to throw it. Gets it out, screen pass to Carter. And Carter doesn't quite get the first down. Scott Stephen was there along with Jerry Holmes. He picked up 12. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation.
Now remember the new rules. Within the last 5 minutes, they go back to the old rule. So if your player goes out of bounds, then the clock does stop and it doesn't start until the snap of the ball. So what seems to go very quickly in the 1st and 3rd quarter does not go as quickly in the 4th.
This clock still running with 3.5 minutes left. 3rd and 3. Montana again back to throw it. Pressured. Gets it up to Brent Jones, enough for a first down. On the move again. Johnny Holland made the stop.
Yeah, I think on that play we saw a lot of things we were talking about. The feeling the pressure, the mobility, the presence, the being able to see, the knowing where your guys are. All those things in one play by Joe Montana.
Clock running now less than 3 minutes.
That's why Joe Montana has already thrown in this game for over 400 yards.
Packers have 2 timeouts left. The 49ers 3. Hand off to Carter. At the 45. Stopped there by Mark Lee.
See, this is where the running or not being able to run really hurts you. Because you can't control the ball. You can't take the time off the clock that you would like to. You have to do it with a forward pass.
Packers take 1 of their 2 timeouts, so they have 1 left.
Here's Sterling Sharpe. Boy, would he like to get back in there and get another shot at it, wouldn't he?
On CBS next week at 2 Eastern Time, next Saturday, Notre Dame, in all likelihood, will be ranked #1 against the Tennessee Volunteers. They both won yesterday. Tennessee over Temple. Notre Dame again beat Navy. And all starts with college football today. It's at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. The coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS, Charles H. Milton III and Ed Boren. Today's game produced by Bob Stenna, directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today produced by Eric Mann, directed by Duke Struck. The senior producer, David Winter, and the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker.
Joe Montana just took another timeout.
2:29 remain on the game clock.
I think that Joe Montana had to be arguing that they didn't give him any more time on the play clock. And he looked up at the play clock, and he didn't have enough time to get his play off, and he was arguing that, so he had to take the timeout. Here's Mike Holmgren right here. He's the offensive coordinator. He's a guy who had a chance to become a head coach. National Football League, was offered jobs, could have went to the Jets, turned down the job to stay with the 49ers as offensive coordinator. And a lot of the reason is because, you know, he was from San Francisco, but this guy here, to be able to work with Joe Montana and stay with him, I think that was a big, big part of it.
At Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Pat Summerall with John Madden. And a cold, crisp football day, with the 49ers leading by 4. Montana on a draw play to Carter. Mark Murphy made the stop. Green Bay another timeout. And that's all for them.
Well, see, they know that they have to get the ball back, because being down by 4, they have to, one, get the ball back, and then, of course, they have to think in terms of getting a touchdown. They just can't get in position to kick a field goal.
This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Green Bay Packers, and the National Football League is prohibited. Kansas City still leading the Raiders, but barely. Miami won again.
Hey, look at Washington there. They're putting some points on the board coming back. Jets, and Bruce Coslet's doing a good job of coaching there. Big play here.
3rd and 3. Majkowski, I beg your pardon, Montana rolls right, incomplete. Majkowski will get another shot.
Hey, Matt Brock, number 62 for the Packers. He came flying through there. Watch 62. He has the containment. Now he, just as Montana throws the ball, he hits him, but I think he made Montana throw that ball a little before he wanted to.
So the 49ers will have to punt.
And the Packers are not lined up in anything that would be like a punt block, because they have 3 guys deep. If you're going to go on a punt block, you usually have 9 or 10 up.
Barry Helton. Pretty good kick. Ron Pitt signaled fair catch. And did it. And the Packers will take over at their own 18. 2:12 left on the clock. They'll get a play before the 2-minute warning.
And you remember last year, these Packers, they were called the Cardiac Packers. Majkowski was called the Magic Man. These were the situations where he came back and led them to victory.
Packers have whatever wind there is. It's not that strong, but it's at their back.
Yep, it doesn't get a lot better than this. The world champions fighting for their life here in Wisconsin.
At the 19, 1st and 10. Majkowski, everything falls back on him. He gets the ball out the front. No. He can't keep his footing. And there's no gain. A loss of nothing, but a gain of nothing. 2-minute warning. 24-20 49ers.
Spend less time at the pump. The CRX HF from Honda.
Wouldn't it be great if you were at a party and suddenly you could read people's minds? And wouldn't it be great if you knew that Candace Robertson wanted beer? Really great beer like Keystone, the fresh cold filtered beer in a can that tastes like beer in a bottle because of Keystone's specially lined can. And wouldn't it be great if later that evening you and Candace went to Vegas? Yeah! Cold filtered Keystone and Keystone Light, bottled beer taste in a can. Wouldn't that be great?
This morning, I don't have to decide who to throw to
Montana connects for a touchdown.
or what play to call. It's nice when the only choice you gotta make is what to wear. Because with the style of Hanes activewear, that's easy. It all looks great.
Now you're wearing what
So good looking. Where can I take you?
Everywhere.
nothing else feels so right.
The big second game in next week's NFL doubleheader features the currently undefeated New York Giants visiting the Los Angeles Rams. You might recall the Flipper Anderson touchdown that knocked the Giants out of the playoffs last year and propelled the Rams all the way to the NFC Championship. Well, the Giants haven't lost since then. 4-0 in preseason, 7-0 in regular season. We'll meet again next Sunday. John Madden and I will bring it to you.
The Giants are a lot better team now than they were then.
Those of you who just joined us, the Packers have the ball at their own 19, trailing 24-20. As Majkowski gets the ball to Kemp, who dropped the ball, and the 49ers, I think, recovered. Eric Wright made the hit.
If that one stays, that'll be the first turnover today. That was the thing that the Packers worried about. They knew that they couldn't have any turnovers. They're down 24-20 with one last chance to beat the champions, and then they have their first turnover of the game. Barry Kemp just turns out of there. The ball, as Ronnie Lott hits him, it goes out the back door on him. And Eric Wright comes in, and it looks like he recovered the fumble.
Much to the dismay of Don Majkowski.
Yeah, Majkowski did what he had to today. His offensive line did a job of pass protection. Sterling Sharpe had an excellent day of getting open and making big plays. They knew they couldn't afford the turnover. And when do they have it? 1 minute and 48 seconds to go.
And they're out of timeouts, the Packers, and so Montana will just let things run out. Under that towel, under that glove, Perry Kemp. Again, a reminder that coming up next will be the NFL Today, the postgame show, scores and highlights. With Greg and Terry. Sterling Sharpe. That's Perry Kemp.
There's the guy who had a heck of a game. He knew that he had to put the pressure. He wasn't worried about the Packer running game. He said there's only one guy we have to worry about. That's Majkowski, and put pressure on him. And Charles Haley did that today.
24-20. The Packers lead, the 49ers lead it, and they would remain undefeated.
You know, and as you look at them and you realize that they're going for a three-peat and all that stuff, trying not to think about that. But when you win as many games as they do, you're going to win them in a lot of different ways.
They haven't lost in almost a year.
The Green Bay Packers, I feel, played as well as they could play. I don't think they could play a better game than they played today, offensively and defensively in every way. They had a great game plan. They were a very well-coached team.
The slowest seconds in the world running off that clock. The 49ers start trotting to the locker room. 24-20. The Packers at one time led 10-0. 49ers got on the scoreboard just before the end of the first half and then put it away. Mostly Montana to Rice.
Two old New York Giants talking there, Billy Yard and Jim Burt, that were teammates, the New York Giants.
Once again, the final score here at Lambeau Field was 24-20. 49ers winning. Coming up next, the NFL Today postgame show. Greg Gumbel and Terry Bradshaw have all the scores and highlights. You've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.
Heard from an old student. Remember Brian McKenna? Smart